Yo, what's going on, man? Today is April the 18th, 2023. It's your boy Chris, and this is the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show. I'm live on Twitter right now. I'm also live on YouTube as well. We have a lot to get into for today. We got a 3-game slate on the NBA for the second round of the playoffs. We got 2 Eastern Conference matchups, and we got a Western Conference matchup as well. And a lot to, like I said, a lot to talk about, man. As I always I ask that you guys please retweet the show, share the show, like the show, all those good things. I appreciate that. Um, and we'll go ahead and jump right into it, man. Real quick recap, and I don't want to address this real quick. I'm 1501. So he says, yo, Chris, I joined, I joined, but I don't see any early posts, aka member perks. What's up with that? So if you go in under the community tab, you should see a post there with 2 looks. I actually tweeted them out. I mean, I actually not tweeted them out. I actually put those out about 15 minutes ago because I actually hadn't placed a bet until about 15 minutes ago. So it's not like I placed bets and didn't give them out. I just, as soon as I place anything, I typically try to make a video or I always share them as soon as I place the bet as well. So they're there. You just got to go check it out. And if you don't see it, I'm 1501. Just send me a DM and I'll share it with you. But I'm a man of my word. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. So the what's up with that part, you can leave that part off. Just make sure you check and make sure you got your notifications set as well. Because if your notifications are on, you'll get the notification. I have people sign up just to make sure. So just make sure you check in on that. So I want to address that real quick because that's the first comment I see. Like I said, hit the like button for me if you guys can. Let's jump into the quick recap. Yesterday was a 3-0 day. We took Philly minus the 10. We took Brooklyn Philly under 213.5. And we also took James Harden under his 20.5 points. The Philly one wasn't necessarily that scary because I feel like they're just that much better than Brooklyn. But they were down by like 10 at halftime. So I thought maybe, backdoor cover. Well, not even a backdoor cover, but more so, could they get a 10-point lead and maintain it? It wasn't until about 3 or 4 minutes left that they got the 10-point lead. And then Brooklyn, they're a 3-point shooting team. So they're going to make a few and then they're going to miss a few. And you kind of see the trends kind of revert to the mean, and they don't make a shot late. So Philly cashes the 10, the minus 10. And then, they go under as well. Not even a sweat bet on the under 213.5. I know the number had dropped throughout the day. And then Harden, I talked about the regression that I was expecting from him. This dude is not a prolific scorer, no matter how many times he drives to the rim and jumps 2 inches off the ground. Brooklyn on the opposite side. Like I talked about this yesterday, they don't have a lot of rim. They don't have a lot of guys that can protect the rim, but they have a lot of guys who can stay in front of old, slow James Harden. And no knock to James Harden, he's just not who he used to be. They got a lot of rim, a lot of wing defenders, Dorian Finney-Smith, Mikal Bridges, that they can kind of throw at him and make it a little difficult. James Harden has also shot 0 free throws in this series. And we know he typically, in past years, he's lived at the line. So enough for the recap, but we did go 3-0, 16-6, 73% since starting the membership. And I know that, I'm not going to speak bad things into the universe and say that the percentage is going to drop, but I'm hitting at a really, really nice rate. The money is coming in right now. So hopefully we can stay locked in and we can, continue to cash. I always, preach to you guys, unit size, discipline, only taking the things that you love. I don't even really care too much about the things that I like. I really only play the things that I love and I live with the results. So that's what I got for you guys there. Let's jump right into the games real quick. So first game up, we got the Atlanta Hawks still in Boston, taking on the Celtics. Spread in this one is 10, and the total is 231. So the total did come up. It came up from 228, and I actually like it. I like that it rose just a tad bit. And the spread really hasn't moved a lot. I mean, it opened at 10.5 on most books. It's down to 10. It's still some 10.5. So a lot of people just don't, know specifically, what they think is going to happen in this game. So I feel like, it's really just about, the side that you're on. I will say, just kind of a quick recap of the last game. You see Atlanta come out extremely just I mean, not that I won't say that the Atlanta was unmotivated. They just couldn't make a shot. And you can say that they will regress to the mean today and kind of make some shots. But the Celtics are elite defensively, and I thought that was going to be the thing that kind of that kind of set these lines where they were. One thing we know about Boston, and I talk about their elite defense. I mean, there's numbers to go with it. Defensive rating of 110.4, which was the second best defensive rating. We harped on how good Chicago defense was post All-Star break, but Boston was the second best defensive team in the NBA after the All-Star break, and they didn't really have too much to play for. New Orleans was on the list, the Lakers were on the list, the Raptors were on the list. These were teams that top 5 teams that were trying to scrap and claw to get into the playoffs. The Celtics just hanging out second casually, and we know what Atlanta does on the opposite end. This team is 25th defensively. Their offense can get hot at times, 4th rated since the All-Star break. But, like I said, defensively, they're just not there. So I think we'll probably see, a line about 10, about 8, probably 8 in the next game, depending on what happens in this game, barring any setbacks or injuries. But it's a difficult game to cap, man. And the reason why I say so is because I do expect Atlanta to shoot a little bit better today. But it also really wouldn't surprise me if Boston came in here and locked them down again. I think if you watch this game, if you watch, the entire game, you saw Boston jump out to the big league. They were up by 10 at the end of the first quarter. At the end of the first half, they were up by 30. They won the second quarter 45-25. And if you've been following Boston throughout the season, you know that they do their best work early in the game. This team always plays well, specifically at home in the first quarter, in the first half, and then they kind of let their foot off the brake. You hear, if anybody watched the post game interview or did any reading on the team, Joe Mazzulla is not really concerned. At least that's what he tells the media. He's not really concerned about them, kind of letting their foot up off the gas. This team just is really, I think it's really hard to lock in, from a mental standpoint when you're winning by 30 points at halftime. They only scored 38 points in the second half. I always find that crazy when a team scores more points in one quarter than they do in the opposite half. So 45 points in the second quarter, but only scored 38 in the second half. Atlanta, put it together a little bit. They outscored them by 11 in the third quarter, outscored them by 6 in the fourth quarter to make it look like a presentable game. Boston still won the game and covered the spread, which is why you see the line kind of go back to where it is now. Like I said, I think Atlanta regresses a tad bit more. I could also see Boston coming out here and locking them up still, but I do think that they shoot a little bit better. I also think Boston probably doesn't take their foot off the gas, and if I had to play in this game, I'd be looking at Boston. Team total probably to go over. I don't necessarily want to mess with Atlanta. The reason why I like it is because, and it's not an official play, but the reason why I like it is because Atlanta, they're going to play fast, right? We know that this team plays with pace. I think after the All-Star break, since Quinn Snyder got there, this team is 4th in the league in pace behind only the Spurs, the Jazz, the Bucks, right? So they're going to play fast, and Boston is fine with playing fast. Boston shoots a better percentage at home. And Atlanta, like I said, 25th rated defensive team. So to avoid the spread, I would probably look at Boston to go over their team total because, like I said, I think Atlanta probably plays a little bit better. But it's not anything that I got to yet. Total is 120.5. I think Boston can score 123, 124, 124 points in this game, even if Atlanta keeps up or not. So that would probably be my favorite look in this game. I didn't really look at any player props. I didn't cap any of the player props. What I will tell you guys is that, Boston does extremely well against guards. They have a lot of, guys that their rotation at the guard set as far as their defensive intensity, and they just, really seem locked in most of the time. They really slow down opposing guards, right? When you think about having Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and then, Derek White, and off the bench, you got, Malcolm Brogdon. This team does a really good job of kind of, switching. They switch everything from a guard perspective and playing, just kind of sitting down and playing really good defense. They pride themselves on defense no matter how much people talk about Tatum and, their offense. So top look in the game would be the Celtics team total over 120.5. But like I said, it's not anything that I feel extremely confident in playing because they could win this game again the same way they won the last game, 115 to like 105 or something like that, right? So not an official play for me, but that's how I would play this one. Like I said, I didn't play any player props at all. What I was looking at as far as player props, not an official play, but what I was looking at was I was looking at assists, and I'm not sure, I didn't finish the capping, but Boston moves the ball really, really well. They're one of the best teams as far as um, finding finding their players and just kind of moving the ball. You either you swing it. Once you get it, you you catch it. Triple threat. If you got the shot, you take it. If not, you move it, right? Boston does a really good job of that. Conversely, Atlanta does not do a good job of that. They are one of the teams that allow, I think they finished the second half of the season since Quinn Snyder there, allowing the 7 most assists on the opposite side. So kind of, figuring out who you think are going to get those potential assists would probably be the player prop that I would look, because I'm not scared of Atlanta defense at all in this series. So I would be looking, maybe Marcus Smart assists, maybe a guy like Tatum assists. I don't know if Atlanta's going to double them. I don't think that they really doubled them last game from what I remember. But that's the way I would look. I would look at one of those guys assists if I was going to look at any kind of player prop. So that's what I got for you guys there. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat, and we'll get back to it. What's up to my guy Sean? TNT, appreciate you being here. What up to my guy Malik? Jay Fowle says he liked DeJounte Murray, 30 points, and Donovan Mitchell 40 points. And Kawhi Leonard, 35 points, plus 28,742 odds. A $1 bet would pay out $288.42. Best of luck, J5. Best of luck, man. That's a lot. DeJounte Murray to score 30 tonight? That's crazy. Okay. Donovan Mitchell to go for 40 and Kawhi Leonard 35. Okay. Sup to my guy Courtney. Coop says, if I knew Draymond wanted to stomp on Sabonis, I would have stayed off Golden State. Oh man, we'll address the Warriors on Thursday. Yeah. Appreciate you, Esdot, in the chat. Esdot says hit the like button for me on your way in, and I appreciate that. Appreciate everybody for always hitting the like button. Hendry said, hey Chris, how do we join the YouTube membership? Please, I'm having a hard time finding it. So in this video, Hendry, there should be a description. And if you go into the description, there should be a link that you guys can click. And that link should take you to the membership to join. Also, if you're listening in on Twitter, you can click on my profile, and then there's a link tree tab that you guys can click on, and it'll be the first link in the link tree as well. That should help you join. If not, Hendry, send me a DM on Twitter, and I can shoot you the link specifically. I can shoot you the link specifically. What's up to Damien? Derek Coop says he's running back Derek White, points, rebounds, and assists. Also like his assists at 4.5. He's gone over 3 of 4 games against the Hawks this season. That's what I'm talking about, Coop. But look like that, right? Like I would need to go in and see how many potential assists he's averaging against them for the season, how many he got in the last game, just making sure he's playing the right amount of minutes. But I like the look, Coop. I do like the look of Derek White assist to go over 4.5. Cac React says head-to-head Clint Capella, Clint and Smart over 8.5 field goals made. Not 100% sure. So both of those guys to combine for 9 field goals. Yeah, I did not look at that at all. But best of luck, man. Best of luck. Let's see what else. Thoughts on Collins over 11.5 points? I have no thoughts on them, Jeffrey. I didn't really look at them a lot at all. I didn't really look at Collins a lot at all. Do I like KD tonight? I guess, yeah. KD's cool. I didn't play his points or anything, any prop for KD tonight. And I didn't think I was, looking at extremely hard. Cam says Clay threes were sweaty. Marcus Smart over 1.5 steals. I couldn't talk you off. John says think live betting the Suns money line for a better line is the move. Couldn't talk anybody off live betting. Brogdon 15 tonight. Didn't really look at it, Locks. And I do want to shout out to my guy Josh for becoming a member. Appreciate you, Josh. I always like to do my shout outs, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in and joining. $5.99 a month. Everybody's made that back already for people who've joined, no matter when you've joined, because like I said, we've been hot lately. So hopefully we can kind of keep it going. Glad you found it, Hendry. Coop says Murray just had a baby. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets like 30. I don't know if I'll bet it yet. Appreciate you sharing that because I did not know that. Jeffrey likes Brogdon over 2.5 assists. I like that play a lot as well. I didn't play it. My guy DJ is a member. Shout out to DJ. Appreciate you, DJ, for joining. and everybody else that's in the comment section as well. A lot of members in here, man. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, hit the like button for me as you guys join, and let's go ahead and jump into game number 2. I'm not here to talk too long today. So we got the Knicks and the Cavs, right? Line in this one is 6 in favor of the home team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. The New York Knicks went into Cleveland and stole game 1. I guess you could say, right? You could say that they went in and stole game 1. This game I pondered on for a long time today. I spent hours just on this specific game, way too much time. All to come out with what I think will be 2 plays, but 1 official play so far. So let me go through my notes real quick because I feel like I got a lot to share on this game. So game 1, right? We can only go back to game 1. The Cavs shot 43% from the field. They also shot just 32% from 3. They were also out rebounded 51-38. On the Knicks side, they shot 42% from the field, 27% from 3. So a lot of room for margin, a room for improvement from the Knicks side, as well as the Cavs side, because those are, these are 2 good defensive teams, but I think both of these teams kind of expect to play a little bit better offensively. The Knicks also had they shot 27% from 3, but they did dominate on the offensive rebounds. They had 17 offensive rebounds. I don't. So this is what I'll say about the rebounding thing, because I think rebounding in the playoffs is extremely important, right? You got to be physical when it comes to playoff basketball. I went back and checked every game that these teams have played so far this season. The Knicks have kind of dominated the Cavs in every single game. Of course, some of those games didn't have Jared Allen. I think it was a couple other injuries in those, but the Knicks actually out-rebounded the Cavs in every single game this season. One game, I think they only out-rebounded them by 1 rebound, but they out-rebounded the Knicks. They out-rebounded the Cavs in every single game. The thing with the playoffs, though, right, is there's this and if you're new to sports betting, you may not know this. If you've been around for a little while, maybe you do. There's this zigzag theory, right? The zigzag theory says that the team that wins on the road isn't necessarily supposed to win the second game on the road as well, right? I shared this earlier on the play that I gave out, the 2 plays that I gave out in the member section that I'll get into in a second. So what I'll tell you guys this. So what I shared was in the playoffs since 2018, when you look at these games that are in game number 2 of the series, and you look at the road dog that won the first game, right? Those teams are only 4-15 straight up, 4-15 against the spread as well. Average line is about 6.5, almost 6.5 points. And those teams are, the home favorite is winning those games by an average of 14 points. Average of 14 points over the course of 19 games since 2018, when the home favorite lose the first game and then they're home favorite again in the second game, right? So now I want to shift to a quote, right? So I'm looking at, doing my research, and I come across this quote from Coach JB Bickerstaff, and I'll say this for people who may haven't been tapped in. It doesn't seem like they're trying to overreact. When I say they, I mean the Cleveland Cavaliers. They understand what they did wrong, and they think that they can bounce back in this spot, and they should bounce back in this spot, because you don't want to go to New York down 0-2. So the quote from Bickerstaff says, "I feel like our guys are confident in who they are, what they're capable of doing, and they believe they can get the job done." Coach JB Bickerstaff said following Monday's practice. "I think the emotions come when there's some insecurities about who you are. Last night kind of helps to prove a point to our young group of guys where if you look around the league, a lot of teams lost their home court. Those teams don't panic. Those teams who have that experience know where they have to go in order to get better," right? So that's the quote from Coach JB Bickerstaff. I also wanted to make sure I mention what I think will be the effort, right? When you're down 0-2, there's a sense of desperation. Like, you don't need to be motivated at all, right? Like, you have the motivation because you can't go to the other city down 0-2. I think it's also telling that the Cavs lost 3 games during the regular season to this team, right? They finished at the 4th seed versus the 5 seed. There was supposed to be a lot of bickering, back and forth between the two. But then the line opens as the same place that the line opened at in the first game. So to me, history tells us that the Cavs should bounce back in this spot. I worry about the rebounding though. Like I said, 51-38, and the Knicks out rebounding this team in every single game throughout the regular season, especially a 17-11, which I don't think that happens today. I think the Knicks come out here. I'm not saying that they're going to be complacent. I just think that the Cavs have to come out in a desperation spot, and I do kind of expect that. The Cavs also lost the second chance points as well. The New York Knicks outscored them second chance points 23-12. Those are two areas where if you lose those, they're almost like controllable things, right? You can't be last to the ball. You have to be first to the ball, right? You have to make sure that you're doing the best job that you can to crash the defensive rebounds, give Jared Allen, Evan Mobley a little bit more support down low. So as far as trends for the game, in the playoffs, like I said, home favorites who lost game one but are favorites in game two, they're 47-33-1 against the spread, 58.8% in that second game. If the home favorite lost game one and the line is actually bigger than the previous line is in game two specifically, those teams are actually 35-24, so 59%. If you look at it just since 2018, same scenario, the line gets bigger. Those teams are 9-2 straight up and against the spread. And those and their home favorite in game two as well. So all of the numbers kind of point towards the Knicks in this. I'm sorry, kind of points towards the Cavs in this spot to come out, with that sense of desperation and motivation. And I would say so as well. I think you have to do it early. I read another report from Jared Allen. He talked about how they always come out slow. So not to say that they will come out slow today, but I can't trust the Cavs early. I think that the Knicks have the far superior bench, even though I expect the Cavs bench to play a little bit better today. And if you take a first quarter spread, you're really relying on the bench to finish whatever the starters did, right? So for that reason, I can't play the Cavs first quarter because I think that while Karis LeVert, and I do think that Cedi Osman gets a lot more burn tonight, especially if Isaac Okoro is out there, building a brick house in Cleveland. He'll get yanked because as a coach, and JB Bickerstaff came out and said this, we're everything's on the table, right? If you watch the game, Isaac Okoro shot terrible. He was a non-factor. Josh Hart outscored the whole Cleveland Cavalier bench by itself. So I do expect that bench to be a little bit better, but that's why I played the first half specifically. And in the play that I gave out in the YouTube for my members a little bit earlier was the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first half. So I don't necessarily know if they'll cover the full game. They should, but I do expect them to come out with a sense of urgency and to actually be winning at the end of the first half. And comfortable margin, maybe 5 points. They should play, like they are desperate because they should be desperate. So that's what I'm kind of going with in this spot, man. That's actually my favorite look in the game. Non-official play, and I haven't played it yet, but my other look in this game was towards Mr. RJ Barrett. I talked about him earlier. In the Cavs game, I got a 2.5 as well for the first half. If anybody looking for the actual play, I posted at the bottom. But I played the Cavs in the first half minus 2.5. Number was like a minus 118. And I'm cool with that. I'm actually cool with the 3.5 if you want to take it there, but I wouldn't take it over that. And that, like I said, that's my top look. The next play I really like a lot is Mr. RJ Barrett. Shout out to my guy Stefan. I see him in the chat. RJ Barrett is Stefan always says he's broke, right? No jumper. We know that the Cleveland Cavaliers have a really good interior defense. And after the game, RJ said, it's pretty simple. If I catch the ball and I'm wide open, I'm shooting a three. And if I catch the ball and I'm not wide open, then I'm driving to the paint. I'm cool with RJ having to score 17 points from the paint today. I don't think that he shoots the ball well tonight from three. And I'm cool with him finishing over the length. If he loses, if he goes over the 16.5, then I'm cool with that, right? Like I said, I haven't played it yet. Haven't quite played it yet, but I am looking strong. Like y'all know I like playing unders because if you've been an over better, I was thinking about this when I woke up this morning because I know a lot of people like overs yesterday in that last game last night between the Golden State Warriors and the the Sacramento Kings, man. If you only know how to play overs throughout the entirety of the season, you're probably about to lose a lot of money in the playoffs because the intensity and the defensive just the defensive intensity, the lack of attention, especially the players who play well in one game, the game plans, the film, the preparation, all changes. The physicality changes. So while we, in the regular season, it's easy for for players to go for 30, 5-6 games in a row. In the playoffs, you're not going to see that too often, right? And we see these totals start to drop. We see the totals go under, even though that they have dropped. So if you're only looking for overs, best of luck. And the unders, I think I'm not going to jinx it, but let's just say we haven't lost one yet. We haven't lost the under yet. So I'm not official on RJ, but I am close to getting there. James Harden blessed us last night, scored 2 points, and we took his under 20.5. So that's the way I'm kind of thinking about today and thinking about this game specifically. I spent way too much time on that game. So I want to get to the last game real quick, and then I'll do a recap. I do have a play on the last game as well. I'll do a recap, and then I'll let anybody else who wants to share as well. Let me go to the comment section real quick, and like I said, hit the like button for me as you guys join. For the new people, let's see. We got Jared Allen over. So hold on. Let's see. Donovan Mitchell 2 threes. Darius Garland 1 made 3. Donovan Mitchell 25. That's a long parlay, Brittany. I can't read all that. How much to be a member? I'm in. It's worth a lot more than you charging because I be smacking them. So membership is only $5.99. And that's for the plays early, or you could join as a $2.99. $2.99 is more like you're just kind of supporting, the show, right? Like I do these shows every day. They're free. I just ask people to hit the like button for me. But if you've been rocking with me for a while and just want to show some support, you can join as on a supporter tier for $2.99 a month. $5.99 gets you access to the ChrisBeCappinn resources, and also gets you access to all my official plays as soon as I post them as well, before they shared on the show. We also got one for tomorrow already as well that I gave out yesterday. If you're a member and you haven't looked at the video for tomorrow, go check the video out for tomorrow, man. Jeffrey says he likes Jared Allen over 10.5 rebounds. I cannot talk you off. I think it's a big rebounding game for Jared Allen. I also feel like Evan Mobley is going to step up in tonight's game as well. Julius Randle will be back on the floor. Some stuff came out today about, him feeling good. His ankle feels good, but he's still, struggling with conditioning, which is why you saw him, kind of regress a little bit in the second half. That is something that I'll be watching as well. If Julius Randle comes out and has a big first half, I will be live betting his under in the second half. And that's what Julius Randle does. He can come out and score 15 points in the first quarter. He can come out and score 20 in the first half, 18 in the first half. But, taking unders in the second half, because coaches make changes, right? Game plans change. You got to figure out what to do differently. I think we saw it in game 1 with Mikal Bridges. He had, 23 in the first half? He only finished with 30. Last game, it was Cam Johnson last night. Cam Johnson went crazy in the first half. I can't remember how many points he had, but you see, fatigue starts to set in. Blowouts can happen. Defenses change, right? Coverages shift. So I will be live betting some of these unders on these players who, have a big first half. I'm just giving y'all the sauce, man. Giving y'all the sauce, letting y'all know how I'm thinking about the games. Knicks money line. Okay. Coop says I lean Evan Mobley bounce back game. That's what I'm looking at as well, Coop. I think Evan Mobley is going to be a problem in this league, man. He's nice. I like Evan Mobley a lot. And I think, you get a good matchup tonight with Julius Randle. Julius Randle's defense is not the greatest. He does play hard, but, you look at the defensive metrics and look at the numbers. He's not the greatest defender. I don't know if it was a playoff jitters because he missed a lot of layups last game. Also might feel like he got snubbed for Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, that's a little bit of added motivation. I know I didn't ever thought he was going to win it, but I know, a lot of players in the Cavaliers organization did think that he had a bona fide chance of winning it, Coop. So I think that I like that. I like that as well. Scott Foster is reffing the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Suns and the Clippers game tonight, Greg. Appreciate you sharing that. Chris Paul I saw this earlier too. Chris Paul is 0-14 in the playoffs with Scott Foster officiating. How can you not take the Clippers +8? I don't have a side in that game for the full game, Greg, but I'm about to get into my play in a second. Hopefully you can stick around for that. Anybody on under in the Cavs games? Markel says a lot of my sharp guys are on the under. Markel, I will tell you that. A lot of guys that I respect in this space are on the under in the Cavs game. And I think you could probably look at a Knicks team total to go under because everybody kind of feels like the Cavs are going to bounce back in this spot. The reason why I didn't get there on that is because the Knicks have been playing at such a fast pace. And I do kind of expect some regression for this team as well. Like I kind of mentioned this at the beginning, but you know, the Cavs only shot 43% from the field. They shot 32% from three. The Knicks shot 42% from the field and shot 27% from three. And that game did go under. But to me, it kind of feels like this one could sneak over the total. If we see a fast-paced game, I think that the Cavs are going to want to get out and try to run in transition as much as possible. And we know that the Knicks want to get out. The Knicks love running fast. They love playing with a lot of pace. So I'm indifferent on the total. I didn't play the total at all. But a lot of my sharp guys, that I talk to on a daily basis are on the under in this game today. So, yeah, hope that helps, Markel. Brittany says she likes Trae Young to go under 32.5 points. Cavs first half. Coop says he likes that as well. Let's see. What else? Capella or Okongwu? I can't never pick it. So I don't pick between the two. Okongwu has been playing better. I feel like his defense is a tad bit better than Capella as well. But I can't pick between the two, man. I can't. Best of luck is what I'll tell you. Nah. It's all good, Derek. It's all good. He didn't irritate me. I just, some people you just got to watch how you say stuff, Like I disagree with people all the time. It's not about disagreeing. It's about, it's not about your message. It's about how you say your message, Like we all adults in the building. If you guys are gambling and listen to the show, you're probably an adult. And we can have respect for each other. And I just kind of felt like, not that it was disrespectful, but like, what's up with that? Bro, I've been giving out free game for years now. I just started charging 2 weeks ago. And you looking for picks? You just gotta look, man. You gotta search. Hit me in the DM. Don't come on the show like that. Like, that's all I'm saying. And I don't go back and forth either. We on it, it's all over the internet. Y'all don't know me in real life, and it's not anything more than just the internet, So Javi says, I'm crazy. I love Mitchell under 32.5 points and Aiden under 17.5. Mitchell under 32.5, Javi, I couldn't talk you off of it, man. The reason why is because I feel like the Cavs have to do something different tonight. Like, those other guys should kind of step up. I know me and Coop was just kind of talking about it. I'm expecting big games from Darius Garland tonight. I'm also expecting a big game from Evan Mobley. And like I said, I think Cedi Osman probably has a big game off the bench as well. So I couldn't talk you off the under. Typically, when teams bounce back and play well, the superstar doesn't necessarily need to score 38 points like Donovan Mitchell did in the last game either. So I actually like it. I like it. Matt P says he's fading Chris Floor General Paul under 13.5 points. Okay. Jarrell says he loves the under 214. It's going to be first to 100. Okay. The Cavs pick V-Mall is in the community section. If you are a member, it's in the community section. The link to join, John, again, is in the description of the video. Also, if you follow me on Twitter, just shoot me a DM and I can send you the link as well. Another John likes Caris LeVert over 8.5 in a bounce back spot. Euphoria is on the Clippers money line plus 290. All right, cool. We got some baseball plays in here. I'm trying to keep up. RJ under 17.5 points, locked it in earlier. Mike says he like that. What else? What up to Freemon's in the chat? All right, cool. Vaughn says he loves the Cavs look. Collins over 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Okay. All right, let's get back into it. So last game up before I get a couple people up as well. Let's go to Phoenix tonight. So we go into the Valley tonight to talk about and I still had a lot of other notes as well that I didn't talk about with the Knicks game, but like I said, official play for me, I did take the minus 2.5 for the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight. Only play that I gave out, RJ under 16.5 points, is something that I also strongly lean towards. Just haven't placed it yet. I will do a better job making sure that I post it in the community chat if I play it, because yesterday I did not get a chance to put in James Harden. Actually, it just slipped my mind to put in James Harden because I made up my mind on the show that I was going to do it. So the that's why it pays to kind of listen to the show. I know everybody can't, which is why I try to, make sure I post the plays there as well. So RJ under 16.5 is, super, super strong lean for me as well. Clippers and Suns next. So got to be a bounce back spot for the Suns, right? Zigzag theory. We know that the Clippers came out and played extremely well in that last spot. To me, 8 is a big number, right? I think, and I talked about this earlier already, the line is telling when a team loses, right? The team loses as a favorite, and you see a 7-point line, 7.5-point line at the beginning of the game, and then the line opens, it still goes right back to that line. That's telling you that there should be some, whatever, right? Should be some bounce back, some motivation, some desperation, and that they feel like the line is set, at a very, nice number. I'll give you guys another little secret. Yesterday, I talked about this between the Brooklyn Nets and the Brooklyn Nets and the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm not into laying double digits. If you guys have been watching my shows and tailing my plays throughout the season, I don't typically lay double digits with teams, especially when they're coming off a win, because I don't know how motivated they're going to be. But the reason why I did so is because I talked about the trend. I showed the trend yesterday. If you guys watched the video, when that line increases from the original line, that's telling you that the books are anticipating a much bigger blowout in the second game, even though the team got blew out in the first game. So the line functionality part of sports betting is true. It's something that you should pay attention to. And I could give, a lot more on that, but I'll just leave it at that. So motivation spot right here for the Suns. I personally think that it's going to be early. I've not done well with first quarters. If you guys have tailed my first quarters, you know that, no matter what the motivation is for these teams, it feels like I'm always on the opposite side and I can't necessarily get a first quarter right. One of the reasons why I kind of stayed off the Cavs, another reason why I kind of stayed off the Cavs first quarter as well. But the Suns first half, I think, is another super big motivational spot, right? The Suns also, their bench played terrible. They got, outscored, outworked in that last game. The Suns were the worst scoring the worst scoring bench in all of game ones out of every single one of them. And they were actually a home team. So I think they're going to put some pressure on themselves, right? I'm looking at guys like Terrence Ross, right? Guys that can come through and actually fill it up and score, right? I think those, I'm not necessarily focusing on, Bismack Biyombo, but I do think that, this Suns bench is hearing a lot of chatter about them potentially not being that good because it's on them, right? The starting lineup may be the best, 5 in basketball. Offensively, that's what the numbers say. Defensively, that's what the numbers say. But you got to be able to do something off the bench. So I think that this team comes together. Another super big desperation spot. I mean, I don't think it's that big of a desperation spot if they go down 0-2, as the Cavs will be in trouble if they go down 0-2 and have to go to the Garden. But I do think it's a big motivational spot. So first quarter in the last game, the Suns actually were losing 30-18. Smashed in the first quarter. I don't see that happening again. You also look at just some of the, like, what I would call like outlierish type things that happen. So the Suns shot 47% from the field, but only 31% from three. They were also out rebounded 47-42. 15-6 was the rebound differential on the offensive glass. And to me, I always talk about, loose balls, second chance points, offensive rebounds. Those are effort plays. When you're down 0-1, you got to come out with all the effort that you got so you can avoid going down 0-2, right? On the opposite side, not even on the opposite side. Same side. Like I said, the Suns shot 31% from three. In the 8 games before, with Kevin Durant in the lineup, they actually shot 38% from three. So I think we see regression from the Suns, right? I think they scored, a few more points in this game. And Phoenix actually finished 12th in rebounding in the second half of the season. So they're not a bad rebounding team. Rebounding is about effort, right? We know that you can get rebounds just by going out there and playing with a lot of effort. They were out-efforted, if that's a word. Probably not. They didn't play with as much effort in the last game. We saw Russell Westbrook go down there and get a bunch of offensive rebounds. The Clippers look like the more desperate, more motivated team, and I expect the Suns to do that in this game. As far as the total in this one, 225 is what it was is what it opened up as. On the screen, you guys see 227. There are some 227 and a halves, but most of these totals are at 228 now. And you see the money start to come in on the over. Two really good defensive teams, but if I had to say how I would play the total, I would only look towards the over. I know that the Clippers can be, a good defensive team. Their defense in the last game feels a little outliers to me. I don't think that they hold the Suns to. I think the Suns scored 110 points in the last game. I don't think that they can hold the Suns to 110 points again. They also play with a lot of pace. Both of these teams, the Suns actually play a little bit slower, but the Clippers, since Paul George has been out, this team has been flying up and down the court. I kind of talked about those numbers the other day. I don't have them right in front of me right now, but the Clippers they just move extremely fast. They try to run up and down the court, not necessarily rely on their defense as much until, you see the last game. So real quick, I want to look that up real quick just so I can give you guys that number, because that actually leads me to my play. I played the Clippers first half team total over 57.5. Staying away from the spread because it's a little bit bigger, but I do like the Clippers on the first half spread as well. Like I said, I just played it. I played the total versus, because I think the Clippers can score in this spot as well. I think that they play with pace also. So real quick, I want to get that number for you guys. I want to look. So what I'm doing is I'm going to Cleaning the Glass, and I'm looking at lineup specifically, and I'm filtering, just like second half type stuff. So I want Westbrook on the floor, and I want Paul George off the floor. And in those 662 possessions now, since that lineup has changed, this team is a minus 1.2 in point differential. But more so, their defensive effective field goal percentage defensively, they rank in the 44th percentile, allowing teams to shoot 55%. And they're in the 13th percentile as far as points per possession allowed, 120.1. So, like I said, I think Phoenix gets their offense, back flowing tonight. I did take Phoenix team total over. I don't have to give you guys the metrics and the numbers on the Phoenix Suns and how good they are offensively. I think Kevin Durant probably comes out a little more aggressively. I know he only shot one time in the last 5 minutes. Chris Paul, I'm not sure what Chris Paul is doing out there. I know he missed some shots that he was capable of making. Those go in. They score a few more points as well. I'm just not relying on it. I don't think that the Suns shoot that bad from the three-point line. Like I said, 31% in that game, but they have been shooting 38% from the three-point line since adding Kevin Durant. So in the games that Kevin Durant played in. So I think, you see a lot of ball movement. Coach Monty Williams is, I think one of the better coaches in the league, probably top 5. Also, Chris Paul's a floor general. They'll watch a lot of tape, and I think they'll just make the necessary adjustments. So I did take the Suns. I'm sorry if I said that. If I said that wrong, I'm sorry. I took the Suns team total over 57.5 in the first half, not the Clippers. All right, cool. Let's see. And no, I didn't play any player props in that game at all. So those are my top 2 plays of the day. And if I had to add an extra, it would be RJ Barrett to go under. But like I said, I haven't gotten there yet. So we'll see how that goes. Shout out to Midwest Slot Diva for joining as a member. I appreciate you for joining the community. Hopefully, if you got any questions, shoot me a DM. I try to stay on top of my DMs. I do have a real life outside of being on. I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter, but if I get messages, I do try to get back to them as quickly as possible. So just bear with me. Like I said, I do have a real life outside of sports gambling. But this is something that I really enjoy as well, as you guys probably know. Same as Cavs game, Suns -4. I couldn't talk you off, Jeffrey. I think I like the total just a tad bit more because I see both teams scoring in the first half. I think we see some defensive regression, some offensive, some regression to the offense, and I think teams play well. Euphoria say he played Kawhi 30 and the Clippers money line at plus 560. Okay. Euphoria got a spicy take. Garland points, rebounds, and assists over, says Mooney Signs. I couldn't talk anybody. I think Garland has a big game today. I really, really do. Clippers going 2-0. Everybody on the Scott Foster. Scott Foster and Chris Paul kind of feels like everybody on the Warriors last night. So we'll see what happens. Some trends are made to be broken. They have to break eventually, right? For the people who don't know, Steph Curry had never gone down 0-2 in a series in his career. And this dude's been in the league for how long has Steph been in the league? 12 years, 13 years, 10 years, something like that, something crazy like that. So yeah, some stuff gonna change eventually. I'm not saying that the Suns win. I do anticipate them to win. I'm not laying the points with them, but I am taking their team total in the first half to go over. Coop says Suns first quarter, last game in the first quarter, they played like it was a regular season game and not a playoff game. They have to come out and punch the Clippers in the mouth first. I would absolutely agree with that. Ross, Landry Shamet, Okigi off the bench for some scoring depending on who Monte gives the minutes to. Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting to see what their rotation is. CP3 under, it's going to be a long night for that man. I'm not looking at his under, but I couldn't talk you off. He should be out there. It all depends on how coach Ty Lue wants to defend him, right? You may try to make CP3 a scorer because his percentages are probably just a tad bit lower than Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, right? I know if I'm out there, I want CP3 shooting all the shots. I don't think CP3 is going to be reluctant to shoot the ball, so that's why I probably wouldn't look towards his under. If they're funneling all the the shots to him, I don't think he's gonna be out there gun shy like Isaac Okoro or anybody. And Chris Paul can shoot; he still can score. So I wouldn't play Chris Paul under. But best of luck to everybody that's gonna do that. And I appreciate that, V-Maul. I appreciate you showing the appreciation. And that's what we got, man. Euphoria dropped a couple looks. He says Westbrook got Devin Booker on lock. Don't think I see that again from Westbrook defensively. Euphoria said Kawhi got KD on lock, so he likes the Clippers in 6. That's a strong take. Euphoria. We'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. So at this time, man, if you guys got any looks, 177 people still watching on YouTube. 47 minutes I've been on. We can go for about 15 more minutes. If you guys got looks, share them in the comment section. Request up if you guys want to speak over on Twitter. I'll get to a few people, especially my sharp guys, if they got anything they want to share, and then we'll wrap up. But I will be putting up the banner with my 2 official plays, and like I said, I'll figure out whether I want to go there with RJ or not. See my guy Stefan requested, so maybe he can give us some extra insight. That may lead me to get to the window with under on my guy RJ Barrett today, man. But first up, we got Cam. Cam, what's going on, my brother? How you doing?
That's good, man. I got some yesterday.
Say it again, Cam. You sound like you're a little far away from the phone.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you good now. You good.
I got smoked yesterday, but that's the game. Give some good advice there because you're right. If you are an over-better, it's going to be an interesting playoff. Obviously, everyone in my overs that took other than Clay with that flat. The game before, but that's the playoffs. They can go up and down. 2 plays I'm on. One is actually, I'm not just kept.
Hey Cam, you sound like you far away from the phone again. We can't really hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, you perfect now.
Okay, I'll keep it close. I'm on that RJ under.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on it. I was like, it's got to be live. You're right. I don't think this is a series for him, and he hasn't been good in general. So yeah, I'm on that one. So I got it at minus 130, but typically I don't play that juice. But I can't see him kind of getting it. He just can't shoot from what I've been seeing. So I'm on that RJ under, and then I'm actually on quickly threes at over 1.5. So how I'm trying to readjust, I am an over-better, is I'm trying to find depressed lines, lines that typically you wouldn't find. And I know the playoffs is completely different and usage goes down and whatnot, but he's one of those guys, if he just hits one of them, I'm sure he'll get it. Like, he'll hit a second one. I played with him the flow of the offense last game, which you can't fault a player for doing. He only took about 5 shots, and I just don't see him taking 5 shots tonight. If he doesn't, cool. It is what it is, but I like the odds at minus 115 for him to hit 2 threes. And then, so those are the only two plays I'm officially on that I'm going to give out. But I'm leaning. I got a few leans and things I've been looking at. And again, it's all about depressed lines. And the Boston game was interesting because you're right, they put the clamps on him, but there's two players in that game where their lines right now are really low. And Frey actually talked on it a few weeks ago. It's Bogey and Sadiq Bey. So Bogey caught fire a bit later. By caught fire, he hit like 3 straight shots, and then it kind of didn't take any shots, so it was too late. But his line's at 11.5 points, and all of his combos are around 14.5, 15.5. And he's the type of player that the Hawks need. Like, they can't win this series without him averaging his average, which is 14 points. Like, they just cannot win the series. It'll be impossible for them to get anywhere near it. And I'm sure that message came from the coach. So I am leaning his over points at this moment at 11.5. It feels low for a player with his usage, but I do like his combo assist in points as well, which is 13.5. He is their primary ball handler off the bench, and I don't think that's going to change in this series. So I was looking at that. So that was a lean that I really like with in that game. And then one thing about, like, sometimes I want to talk about looking ahead, because I am starting to look at unders, and I looked at a bunch of unders yesterday that I didn't play that I wish I did. And it's on players like the Trey Lyles of the world and the guys who have, like, the big nights one night, and then their numbers skyrocket up. So Trey Lyles line was set at 13.5. I think he had like 2 points yesterday. So I'm going to be looking closely at some of these dudes, like Josh Okogie, the first game. His line was set at like 10. Again, 0 points. In the playoffs, these guys either get off or they do nothing. And I think that's where a lot of money is probably going to be made. So I'm keeping a close eye on some of these fringe guys. Because obviously, like, yes, any guy can have his 15-point night. But you got to think about the averages. And real talk, like, they aren't those guys, right? It's not like an Austin Reeves who we now have to believe he's that dude. It's these guys have their one night, you watch their line sky up, and then take their under. That's kind of what I'm going to be doing probably moving forward, and then continuing to look for the depressed lines on the players who are really underperforming from a game, but you know their usage is still going to be high. So that's just some knowledge that I've been looking around and kicking. But yeah, that's all I got.
Sound like you've been in my brain, Cam. I like it, bro. I like it a lot, man. I was looking at those same exact things, and you said it, right? Boom or bust type players. So either you're gonna cash, pretty easily, or you might lose one. And if you lose one, that's totally fine. You learn, especially if you're watching the game, like, and the thing with the unders is some of these, it's playoff time, right? Like, not only are the players trying to play well and they might, may have nerves about the games, but also these coaches, right? Like, some of these coaches are in positions where, their job might be in jeopardy if they lose in the first round. So then you're more liable to bench a guy, right? You're more liable to say, all right, this not working. We got to go with somebody else, right? Because the flow of the game, starts to speed up, and you might already have it in your mind that you're going to give this guy a short leash. So, guy like you, the guys that I faded in the first game, we faded Keegan Murray in the first game. We faded Spencer Dinwiddie. Spencer Dinwiddie still didn't get to his points last night. And guess what Keegan Murray did? Still didn't get to his points last night. So I should have just went back to the well, but I figured, maybe a bounce back performance, right? You don't want to take the same prop every single game just because it hit in the last game. At least I don't bet like that, right? So I love it. I love it, Cam. Love it.
With Keegan Murray, if his line set anywhere at like 9, 8 points or whatever, I'm going to continue to play it.
you got to at Golden State, right? I was looking for that line too. They might not even have a line for my guy at this point.
He's just a body at this point. He's on there for 15 minutes. He ain't taking any shots. He's a body.
Lights bright, Cam. They bright, man. They real bright. But I like the looks. I like the looks a lot. Stephen, I want to kick it to you, man. We got the resident Knicks fan in the house. I know he got some thoughts on the game. What we thinking tonight, Stephen? How you doing, first of all, my brother?
I'm doing excellent. Hope everyone's doing excellent as well. I have a lot of thoughts on this game. It's gonna be like a big adjustment game. So, man, that Warriors first quarter last night, man, that really did me in. But for tonight's game, I'm really looking at the fact that with Brunson's assist, I know I said it yesterday, the odds keep yo-yoing up and down. This is just, listen, usually in the regular season, I'm super confident because, you watch these games to games, and I think you made a great point talking about, these games kind of zigzag, the coaches make adjustments. So I'm just anticipating what the adjustment's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And, the first game, first off, the Cavs, the Ricky Rubio, Dean Wade experiment, those bums are never playing again and seeing the day of light. The Cavs bench is buns. If I see those dudes on the floor to start the second quarter, I'm grabbing whatever the hell the spread is for the Knicks because those dudes stink. But
it's a fact.
what I do think is going to happen here is Jalen Brunson's assist. I'll go back to it. It's back to plus money. And it's risky. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I took the latter because I'm thinking of it like this. The Cavs have no one that can check this guy one-on-one. Like, literally no one. Okoro's already crying in the media.
Mm-hmm.
He's already talking about, he likes to do these tactics for fouls. So I think that with Brunson, towards the end of the regular season, he was playing a different style of game where he would get his points, but he was clearing his assists and fairly comfortable. I want to say he was like over 4 of the last 5, and he had a couple of 10, 9, and 8 assist games. So game 1, he only played 9 minutes in the first half, and he gets the majority of his assists in the first half. So I think that early on, I think he could get like 3, 4 in the first half, and then get like 2 or 3 in the second half. So I love his 5.5. I took it all the way up to 10 because I just think the opportunity will be there. So I love his assists. I also took quickly just on strictly a value. I mean, it's like Austin Reeves. It's like if a guy like him is ever at 13.5 points plus assists, I got to take it because the dude could get hot in a 10-minute stretch. I think the Knicks are also going to need some scores. Like the big story from game 1 was the fact that outside of Brunson and some Randall, like Grimes, Barrett, quickly, they were all terrible. So if they want to win tonight, someone's got to step up, and I think it's going to be quickly. And I want to keep riding these role players. I know he's got the hurt ankle, but Josh Hart's PRA at 16.5. I'm all over that one. I put the number in my head before they put the line because I think his stat line is going to be like 8 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. So I was like, if it's anything under 18.5, I'm going to take it. And it's at 16.5. So it's risky because you don't know with the ankle. But I just think that, once again, like I've said with Tibbs, like if he's going in there, if you say I'm playing, basically he's going to play your 30-plus minutes. And Hart's crucial because they need his rebounding out there. He's guys who's going to be diving on the floor. And as a New York Knick, when he's played 30-plus minutes, he's covered this line 9 of 10 times. So I just got to keep riding with Josh Hart. If it fails, I'm cool with that. I just think as a guy who's going to be in there scrapping. And the last one I'm on is your boy, man, Mr. No Bag, no right hand, can't finish at the rim. You know, RJ Barrett, I don't need to go into it. You just know. It was under at 17.5. I woke up this morning, I saw it fell to 16.5. I had a good cup of coffee. I took it again. He's got to show me something. I just think he stinks.
I think, bro, that's funny, dog. I think, Stephen. I think, you know, we always. Well, I've been mentioning this recently, right? Like styles make fights, right? So, like, you know, it's about the matchup that you get, right? Like if RJ Barrett was just so happened you guys were playing against the Celtics in the first round, I would say, okay, you know, you kind of put me on that, right? Like him and Tatum go at it, right? That's like extra motivation for him. Or if he's playing like one of these teams that, you know, don't necessarily got the greatest defense. If he playing Atlanta, right? I'm scared of his under. But like I said, styles make fights. I think what I had in my notes was I think RJ is let me get to it real quick. He is shooting 25% from the 3-point line over the last 2.5 months on the season. And if you, so that's what I had in my notes. So what that tells me, like you said, no left, no right hand. The guy goes left every single time. And then on top of that, he can't shoot the ball. And you know, the Cavs will be motivated in this spot, and they will also continue to protect the rim, right? Unless your name is Jalen Brunson, and you can get to wherever you want to on the floor whenever you want to. I like it. I'm probably gonna make it official, man. First 2 speakers on the show, both on RJ Barrett under 16.5 points. I like it. I like it a lot. So.
Yeah, and I'll say this: I don't have a way to play him because I don't know enough about it. But I would love to hear if anyone has any thoughts on Darius Garland. I really think like it hit. Like I'm telling you, Donovan Mitchell's assist. If you look at the log versus the Knicks, it's over 6, 5 of the 7 times, and over 5, like literally every matchup in the last 2 years. Like the 5 assists is terrible. I sprinkled on the 6 at plus 180 because he's gonna get to 5. Does he get to 6? So Garland, like the big thing with him, he only shot it 13 times. He didn't shoot it 1 time in the 4th quarter last game. And there's this whole picture of him and Mitchell talking in practice. I think you were spot on when you were talking about they're going to get him involved. It's about getting get some shots. And it's going to be like the same way where they're going to have, if I believe, he's going to be on one corner and like a Coro or like, you know, Cedi Osman's going to be in the other corner and he's going to be open for like 5 or 6 threes. So I don't know. I don't know how to play him, but I do know like there's something there.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And it's probably just his points, Steph. I think it's probably, you know, it's probably his points. When I think about who's scoring on Like where do the Knicks give up points at? It's typically the 3-point line, right?
Yeah.
And he is one of their probably their only 3-point shooters. I don't feel like the Cavs have a lot of 3-point shooting. Y'all defense is best, at protecting the rim. I think when I looked at it, y'all give up the least amount of points in the paint, Stephen. So that tells me that, mid-range for Garland, catch and shoot maybe from Donovan Mitchell, 3-point shot, right? Maybe floaters if they can somehow match his minutes with getting him in the game when Mitchell Robinson goes to the bench, or transition, right? You get the rebound, get out and run, try to play a little bit more pace, which is why I kind of lean towards the over in this game. So I would probably just play his points, but I do think I think you on to something for sure. And it's nothing that I played either. I just think that, looking back at it, Donovan Mitchell had a usage rate of 38.1% in the last game, which ranks in the 100th percentile. And Darius Garland had a usage of 17.2, which ranks in the 24th percentile. So I don't think it can be that big of a gap where you're talking about 75% usage goes towards, Donovan Mitchell over Darius Garland if this team is going to be successful. Because, what they look like on Sunday when y'all beat them, Stephen, they look like Luka and the Mavs, right? Like, you just let Donovan Mitchell go out there, get whatever you want, and then, Darius Garland is like a poor man's Kyrie Irving. He didn't even do what Kyrie would do. So I think it's, like I said, I think it's a bounce back game for him and a guy like Evan Mobley, and Cedi Osman will be my super sleeper if I had to, another player prop, because I don't know what Isaac Okoro does for you. I know it's a zigzag, but I think he zig. So we'll see what happens with him. But I appreciate the look.
I appreciate you, man. I don't want to take up too much time, but I just gotta say this. Listen, I understand. Like, I'm giving you like the politically correct analysis of this game. If I'm being honest, I think the Knicks are just gonna beat them again because we are significantly better than these dudes. We beat them 3 times in a row. Their bench is awful. Our bench is really good. And if you look at the Cavs, it's like, I was like saying to my friend, I'm like, when it's down the stretch and I'm looking on the floor and I'm like, I'm at the bar and I'm watching this game, and Cedi Osman's on the floor and Darius Garland's on the floor and Mobley's afraid he's on the floor. I'm like, you want those dudes against Brunson and Josh Hart, and like, bro, the Knicks are way better. And JB Bickerstaff, like, that dude is terrible. Like, with these rotations where Rubio's in there, then he doesn't play, then LeVert's in there, then he's not. It's like, bro, this team is a mess.
Honestly, Stephen, I don't think they got much more. Like, I really don't think that they have much more off the bench, man. Like, I think that's what it is. Like, you got to play with what you got. They traded away Kevin Love for, some air. For air to breathe. So yeah, like you got rid of one of your, perimeter. Kevin Love did a lot for this team, but you didn't want him a part of your rotation because you were banking on guys like Dean Wade and Cedi Osman, and then they don't show up. So we'll see what happens tonight. But I think I'm with you. Y'all got much more depth, in my estimation. So I would agree with you there for sure. And somebody asked, in the chat, they say, they said, what was Stephen pick? So I put him at the bottom. RJ under the 16.5. He also got it at 17.5. Brunson assists, quickly points and assists as well. And then Josh Hart over the 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Also, people be asking me, like, what's the Knicks guy name from the spaces all the time? Yo, don't ask me no more. He up right now. He's a speaker. All you got to do is click on his profile. The first button, one of the first buttons says follow. So just hit the follow button, follow Stephen. So you have all the Knicks analysis, and because people was in my DM the other day. Yo, what's that dude name? What's Stephen Twitter tag? So yeah, just wanted to make sure I mentioned that.
I just want to say once again, I just want to say thank you to everybody for the support. I'm humbled. Please, it's a marathon, not a race. This is my first year capping the Knicks. New York just got sports betting 1 year ago. Okay, so it's been a good year, but like, let's not give back all the money won from the season in the playoffs. So please take it lightly. But once again, I appreciate everybody for the support. Just trying to cash for everybody. At the end of the day, man, we always trying to make a dollar. So
absolutely. Now I appreciate that and appreciate the words. Appreciate the message too, Stephen. Like, take it light, bro. We've been cashing, but I ain't going too heavy. Once I start to hit a streak, though, I will start to increase the unit size, but y'all will never know because everything is a 1 unit play that I give out. So real quick, kick it to my guy Dream. What up, Dream? What's going on today, my brother?
What's the vibes, my guys? How y'all doing?
I'm good, man. How about yourself, man? What's going on, Dream?
Can't complain, man. Quick wrap up for yesterday. Royce O'Neal did it again, man. He started slow, but he covered that rebounds and assist lines. open up at tomorrow or tonight, whenever I open. I'm anxious to see that. Yeah, and I had a couple live plays I called last night, so it was good. Went 3-0 last night.
Love it.
So I got 5 plays and a few blown money bets. The first play, you already talked about the Cavs first half. I took them full game too. I tend to agree with Stephen. I like the Knicks. I know me, him, and you. We talked about this a little bit like last week or something. But yeah, I think the Knicks win the series. But this is do or die for the Cavs. I don't want to go into too much because you really made a great case for the first half, and it's really for me the same case for the full game. I do like the first half more because it's less points, obviously. But I could see the Cavs winning by double digits. That's why I just made it first half and full game. The biggest difference to me is going to be experience. So a lot of these guys, they may have felt the playoffs before, but they just wasn't physical enough. And maybe they don't have the size because their bigs are thin compared to like Mitchell Robinson and Brando and all that. But in Hartenstein, like those guys are kind of like more bulkier guys compared to Mobley and Allen. But it's just something about a coach telling you, and Bickerstaff is a good motivator. He's not the best X's and O's, but he's a real good motivator.
That's a fact.
Something about a coach telling a grown man like, yo, you ain't been tough enough, you getting bodied down there. I expect him to come out and literally play the hardest they've played all season. So if you're going to tell me I got a good team that's going to give the best effort they gave all season, I'm going to take them in a big spot. Obviously, if they go down 0-2, series is over. So, love the Cavs first half, full game. That's what I'm on. And a blunt money bet for that game, Karis LeVert, 15 points. I got it at plus 700. Last time I checked, it was 650. I played the 550. I don't know about 500. But he a boomer bust player like y'all was talking about before. So if the Cavs win tonight, just like you were saying, I could see Mitchell going for 40. But if the Cavs win tonight, I think it's going to be more of the role players, the ones that weren't that good the first game, maybe a little Okoro, Cedi Osman, or LeVert having a big game. I think you see that before you see Donovan Mitchell taking another 30, 35 shots. So, and quickly, 3 threes plus 310. I took that. I just thought that was crazy. Those are 2 blunt money bets for that game. My next bet, Aneka Okongwu, my guy. He's been good to me. He ain't do good last game. And I really was going to fall back on my guy until he got back to Atlanta. Him being a bench player. Bench players historically tend to play better at home, especially in the playoffs. But when I looked a little deeper into the box score and actually rewatched the game, like he was missing lobs. Like Boston was really prepared for him. So long story short, he went 0 for 4. They dropped the line another point. Hey, he's covered this 15 of the last 17 games. I'm going to play it again. And I sprinkled his double-double at plus 1,300. I think he gets more time this game just because they got blown out so bad. Capella cannot guard Robert Williams. Capella, I don't want to say he can't guard nobody. They're both really good defenders. I just think Okongwu fits what Atlanta's trying to do. I think as far as defensively, he fits their scheme a little better against Boston. So I expect him to get probably low 20s to mid 20s, and if he gets that, he should breeze over this line. Like I said, he went 0 for 4 last game. He only had 1 game all season where he didn't make a basket, and that was against Houston, like the first month of the season. So I expect a bounce back game from him. My next 2 bets, there's not as much analysis. These are just kind of gut bets, and honestly, my gut bets have been hitting. I just ain't been posting them. So I said I'm playing these. Brunson over his points. I just talked about him last week. I just think, I don't know what it is with him and Donovan Mitchell, but every time you see Donovan Mitchell, it's a green light. So in a game like tonight where I expect the Cavs to win, mostly another reason, they're going to be the hungry team, and it kind of goes to say the same thing. The Knicks, they've already done what they came to do. Like when you're in the playoffs, you're just trying to get one. If you could get one, not saying you're going to just like fold up the tent, but they came and did what they had to do. They're ready to go back to New York and leave New York 3-1.
A guy who's not going to play that way and think that way, in my opinion, is Jalen Brunson. So if the Knicks come out flat, the Knicks come out uninspired, it's one guy that I believe is going to actually be inspired, and that's Jalen Brunson. So not only did I take his points, I laddered his points because I can see it being the type of game where, again, he's the only one who really comes to play tonight. In my last play, Terrence Mann over 11.5 points, rebounds. I got it at plus 100. You can get the 10.5 at minus 130. I took the plus money. I love it. He's one of my favorite players to bet on. When I do bet on him, he's an effort guy. He reminds me a little bit of the Gabe Payton Jr. play. Gabe Payton II, whatever. Stephen gave out yesterday. It's kind of the same vibes, man. Terrence Mann, he's a try-hard. I expect him to get between 24 and 28 minutes. As soon as he come off the bench and down the stretch, he plays a pivotal role in guarding Chris Paul. He normally picks him up full court. I think he's going to increasingly get more minutes this series as opposed to Bones Highland, because Bones, he just, man, every time he come in, he just can't get out of his own way. So I love Terrence Mann to go over 11.5 points and rebounds. I expect him to be active. He covered this line last game and he shot 0 for 3 from 3. So I love it. And that's what I'm on. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Hey, those are solid, Dream. Those are really solid. I think the comparison to Mann and Gary Payton is extremely accurate. Like you said, he gonna play hard every single time he in the game, man. So I could not talk you off of that. That's a sneaky look, Dream. I like that look a lot.
Hey, sorry to cut you real quick, Dream. What was the Onyeka one you said previously?
It's 13.5 points and rebounds.
That's right.
Yeah, and that covered 15 to 17. And yo, all my plays, I just made another post. They all on my page, so I know I just said a lot. So you can just click on my profile of all my plays right there. So.
Yep. I like it, Dream. Yeah, and Dream up here too, man. Everybody want to follow Dream. Should give Dream a follow. He up here on the stage now. Easy to find him. I done typed this dude at name in so many times because people asking me what it is. And you getting some love in the chat as well, Dream. Midwest says I love Dream. I like it. I like it a lot. My guy Dream out here, man. So yeah, Dream got a couple looks tonight, and I like these looks a lot by Dream. We both on the Cavs like that play a lot, and like I said, I think the Terrence Mann and the Onyeka Okongwu is extremely sharp as well. So like the looks from both of my guys, all three of them, Cam, Steph, and Dream. Back to you, Cam. I see your hand up. What's up, bro?
Yeah, man, real quick, because I'm an idiot. I couldn't find your place. Now I know there's a community section. So I missed out on the number you got for the Cavs. Are you comfortable first half minus 3.5?
Yes. Yep. Somebody just asked me on Twitter.
Cool,
I'm just transparent. I put it in the chat. I played the 2.5. Like I said, I typically go to I'll go over to OddsJam and make sure I can find the best line. Because if I'm being honest with you guys, like my favorite sports book is Bet365, FanDuel, and DraftKings. But I don't necessarily like opening 5 sports books to see what the lines are on all of them, which is why I got OddsJam, because I just go to the line and put it in, and then I can find the line on every single book. So real quick, what I wanted to say, and I'm glad you asked that, Ken, because I did say that I would play it up to that, but I didn't take it. I took it at 2.5 because I just wanted the safest line, but I would play it up to 3.5. I do think it's probably a 5-point game at halftime. Cavs should give everything that they have in the first half. And probably cash the full first game, first quarter, first half, and full game, but we'll see how that goes. Real quick on the I talked about taking RJ Barrett under. So RJ Barrett points are at 15.5 under is plus money at 112. But if you like the 16.5, you can get the under. The best line for the under right now is on Bet Rivers. If you guys have Bet Rivers, which is also, if I give you guys a line, it's always going to be available to me. So Bet Rivers is minus 117, but a book like Caesars is minus 154. So that's why you price shop, because what's that, 37 cents, and that's a lot. Like that's a whole lot. I'm not willing to lay a 130, 154 ever on anything, pretty much. But I'll definitely play a minus 117. So that's why you kind of got to shop. That's what I mean when I say shop around. get the best line. Even FanDuel got it at a -144. I'm not laying that much juice for RJ to finish with 17 points and for me to be upset because I played a -144. So
365's got it -130. So
yep,
kind of that between spot.
Yep, -130 is not bad. Like that's typically like my cutoff. I'll play it, -135. And in baseball, I'll play a -145, but I typically like to kind of cut it off around that spot. Like I don't like to lay more than 45 cents. I would definitely play it on Bet365 if that's all I had available. Cam, for sure. So yeah, if you guys like the RJ look, definitely shop around, get the best number. It's also that -117 is available. I'm sorry, Hard Rock. Hard Rock has the best number, and I know most people don't have Hard Rock. Hard Rock is dope. I love Hard Rock a lot. -115 on Hard Rock, -117 on Barstool, -117 on Bet Rivers, -117 on Unibet, -120 on BetMGM. So definitely shop around. Don't play it if it's under, unless you want to. I wouldn't endorse it, at a number so bad. So that's what I kind of got for you guys today. I got a few more requests. I definitely want to get up game real quick. And if you guys could be pretty short, just so I can hop off here. The games are about to start in a second. Just kind of went over in time. I want to get game up real quick. I also want to get VG up, man. VG has not been in this space in a while, but last year he was our resident Nick guy. So I want to get my guy VG up as well. I'm not going to be able to get everybody up, and I apologize in advance for that. But game, if you got anything you want to share, if you can be, kind of precise and quick with it, I do want to open the floor to you, and I want to give my guy VG a shot as well. What up, game?
Man, how are you doing, man?
I'm pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Fine, man. I'm doing well. The past 3 days wasn't good for me. Yesterday was 2-0, so I'm happy with that. So yeah, I'm RJ Barrett's unders. I took it in the game one, goes well. And took it again today. I took it in 17.5 and -125 yesterday. So I hope everybody cash on that one. I'm under the Chris Paul points under 13.5. I think Paul is not shooting out the ball. I see the lines of Booker, KD, and Ayton going up. His line doesn't move, so I think he's not going to be so involved in the offense today. Also, I have Russell Westbrook over into his rebounds, 6.5. Westbrook in playoffs is really, really defensive. His numbers are really good in rebounds and in his career in playoffs. So I'm really confident he's going to be there, that bet. And I'm on the Suns first quarter, -3. Is a motivational spot for me. Yesterday I was in the Golden State first quarter, that cash. So I think the guys are going to be really, really focused in the offense. I don't know, maybe 6 points ahead in the first quarter. That's all for me, man.
Okay. Hey, some good looks there. I appreciate you, game, for sharing these. Westbrook over 6.5 rebounds. Also on RJ under 16.5 points, and Suns first quarter -3. Best of luck to you, game. I appreciate you sharing the looks, man.
Thank you, Chris.
Absolutely. I just want to say this about RJ before I kick it to VG real quick. RJ gonna make us all look like we need to go to the bank and take some money out tomorrow, or he gonna make all us look like fools. So we'll see which one it's gonna be with RJ, because everybody on his under. Y'all know I'm contrarian, man. I like to have my own looks. I feel like everybody on the same play. So hopefully we all cash it, man. Hopefully we all cash it. Like I said, it hadn't been an official play for me. I haven't given it out yet, but already how I was looking, I tweeted it out after in the middle of the last game. So yeah, that's what I'll say about that. VG, what's going on, my guy?
Hey, Chris, what's up, baby?
How you, man? You still spreading love the Brooklyn way, man?
Still spreading love. It's the Brooklyn way, man. Just had to take a little time out. A lot of big changes in my life. Moved to Bedford-Stuyvesant, not in Flatbush no more. So, big new beginnings. But yeah, just Love to see the people in the chat. I see a lot of new faces. I still keep up with Chris. This is the best man in the business. And like he said before, he gives you all this for free. Well, I heard not anymore, but still, it's all good. Yeah, but I just got a simple little 3-leg plate. And if my man Finesse was here, he would frown on me right now because he does not like SGPs. But that's the way I go. And the 3 legs that I got is Julius Randle over 2.5 assists. I just think that ankle injury, he's going to try to lay off a little bit and come to the Garden with some more energy and a little bit more rest. I don't think he's going to be taking the foot off the pedal with it necessarily, but I just think he'll find a way to maybe suck in the defense and kick it out to a couple of players. Maybe to a 3-point shooter, or you never know. Maybe Mitchell Robinson goes over his 6 points today. That's a sneaky little look if you guys want to sprinkle a little cash on that. But Julius Randle over 2.5 assists. I would have pushed it up to 3.5, which would be plus money, but I'll stick with the 2.5. I like Jalen Brunson for 20 points. I feel like Jalen Brunson, somebody mentioned it before, he's just a dude that comes ready every game. I'm not going to lie to you. When the Knicks picked this man up, I was not a fan. I just didn't believe in this dude at all. I didn't think he was going to be the player for them. I thought RJ and Julius Randle would just take the spots and he would play more of a background role. But this man is here to play. This man is here to represent for New York. I don't even know what city he originates from, but he feels like a New Yorker to me. And I took Jalen Brunson for 20 points. And the most popular bet of the day is the RJ Barrett under. But what I did was I alternated it. So just like Chris says, sometimes you got to be a little contrarian in this game. Last year in the playoffs, I went under on PRAs for everybody and their mother.
I remember it, VG. Talk about it.
You know what I mean? So just take that in consideration that the playoffs is a whole new monster, it's practically a whole new season. So just be careful with that. But I ended up going with RJ Barrett under 20.5. Those 3 legs, Julius Randle over 2.5 assists, Jalen Brunson 20 points, RJ Barrett under 20.5 gives me a total of plus 114 on FanDuel. I think it's a nice little 3-leg. Sit back, pop open a little bit of Casamigos, and enjoy the game. Chris, I love you. I hope you're doing good in life. I hope your baby's big. I hope your boy's big. And when you come here to New York, man, just let me know because we got to kick it.
Absolutely, BG. I appreciate you, my brother. All love back to, all the way to Brooklyn, man, for sure, BG. I appreciate you, man. Nah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. It's good to hear your voice, man. I hope everything going well for you in life as well, bro. All the new moves are good moves, man.
Thank you.
I would endorse the 3-leg parlay, man. I do feel like Randle will get the 3 assists, Brunson the 20 points, and RJ to stay under 20.5. While VG was talking, I was listening, but I was multitasking. I did add RJ as an official play for me. So we gonna ride it together. Squad ride play. Shout out to my guy Punch School, or we just gonna all be on the wrong side. So I did make it official. I did bet RJ under 16.5 points as well. Like I said, definitely shop around. Make sure you guys are getting the best line. But Cavs first half for me, minus 2.5. I would play it up to 3.5. RJ under 16.5, like we kind of talked about. And the Suns, like I said, I think they score in this game. You see the total going up already. I think that they score. I think the Clippers score. I think the Clippers don't play as great defense in this spot as well. And those are my top 3 plays for the day. I'm going to jump off just because the games are about to start. I know I didn't get to everybody today. So tomorrow, what I'll do is I'll try to make my analysis a little bit short. If people get here on time, then it'll be a little bit easier for me to get other people up as well. And we'll go from there. If you got to play, definitely just you guys can hit the button at the bottom and leave the play. And anybody that wants to see the plays can kind of see it from the actual tweet of the space as well. If people don't know that, so you can definitely leave your looks there. If you're looking for more looks, just kind of check in there as well. So that's what I got for you guys today. I will be putting the RJ Barrett play in the community section real quick so I don't forget. But yeah, that's where we at today. 3 plays. Hopefully we go 3-0 again today. Hit the like button on your way out. Like Midwest said, 155 people in the room getting free looks, only 75 likes, man. Come on, hit the like button. Appreciate you, Midwest. Best of luck to everybody tonight, man. I'll be back tomorrow as always. Already got a play for tomorrow. If you guys want the membership, like I said, shoot me a DM if you can't find the link. $5.99 a month, man. We doing $5.99 these days. I'm not killing you guys. And then I come on here and give it out for free anyway, hour and 25 minutes of my day just to do the show, not the prep work that goes into it. And y'all know how I cap these games, man. So best of luck to everybody tonight, man. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Yeah, that's what we got, man. Best of luck to everybody tonight. I'm out.